Well, welcome to day 8 of this adventure, and it's getting real. I am going for a bike ride on my Gazelle Medeo hybrid bike. Sadly not a hybrid that has an electric motor. I'm going to have to do all the work, but I don't think you can come to the Netherlands and not go for a bike ride, can you? I love the fact that, the handlebars sit nice and high, so you have a proper posture when you're riding a Dutch bike. Very elegant. We'll see how elegant I look once I start pedaling. They're not big on crash helmets here. Apparently they don't crash, or maybe it's because cars do generally tend to give way to the bikes, which is probably best. Bikes and their riders are a bit more crushable. But yeah, we shall leave Elly here to have a rest and go biking. Already there are magnificent sights, US spec headlamps, interesting modifications. That's brilliant. Right, better get back on my bike. Well, I appear to have managed to cycle into Zutphen. Unfortunately, I'm not quite confident enough to try and cycle one-handed. I am. Here we go, actual bike cam. Nice moped, sir. Yeah, we'll see what we have to see. Pedestrian zone. Right, I might park the bike up, go for a meander. There we go. Most people don't seem to bother locking their bikes, but as it's not my bike, I thought I'd better do that. Let's go and have an explore of Zutphen. Frankly, feel like a bit of an amateur when there are mothers cycling in with a pushchair and their baby. All of the cheeses. I feel like a random explore coming on. Yeah, it's quite a nice little town centre. I was told it was nothing special, but it's still got character, I think. Kind of explore. I'm actually looking for somewhere where I can buy a USB cable, because I recorded some footage on the Oppo and then discovered I haven't bought a cable to connect it to the computer. I'm sure there's a way of making them speak without a cable, but it's beyond me.
Ja, dus hij zei eigenlijk net als heel leuk. Niks even te genieten van het uitzicht.
Oh, dat mag.
Vandaag.
Okay. I do like random passageways. More cities should have them. There is a market ongoing. Maybe that means the chances of me finding a cable, Luxor Theatre, wow, are somewhat higher. Let's have a nose about. Oh yeah, some lovely buildings here. What were you on about, Stein? This is quite a nice little town. Yeah, I was warned it wasn't very interesting, but there's lovely old buildings about. And millions of passageways to go off and explore and wonder what's about. This is good. I don't think I've included quite enough sightseeing on this trip. I've been watching Itchy Boots and another girl who's going around the world on a motorbike this morning, trying to steal some ideas from their, or rather be inspired by their exploits. So yeah, 1549. That is a lovely building, and yeah, a nice church back there as well. But I haven't found a cable, so let's try going down the other side. There we go. Managed to buy a cable, so that means I can transfer the videos and get that video, the second part of the Dutch adventure, online. Yet again, I've had to spend money buying a cable I've got at home, but such is life. No matter how many cables I buy, I will always forget one of them. Oh well. There we go, we've reached the end. That was a big old market. Quite the trading area they've got. And annoyingly, I think I've just remembered where I might... Ooh. Carillion. Wow. There's a lot to be said for this cycling lark. It's just so pleasant here because yeah, there's no competition with car drivers like there is in the UK. There are proper cycle lanes as well. So yeah, it feels lovely. I'm entirely the wrong gear and I keep getting overtaken. So I'm trying not to worry too much about that. I'm actually walking back into town. Decided to do without the bike because it's really not that far, and I could do with just a gentle leg stretch that doesn't involve some sort of bike. Okay, it was making me saddle sore. There's a rare Hyundai van. I don't think we got those in the UK. But yeah, someone asked about food. That is top of my agenda at the end of this walk. And as much as people seem to think I'm some sort of bloody millionaire, which I'm clearly not, yeah, I have to keep an eye on budget, so I can't go to a fancy restaurant every night. In fact, I would rather not go to a restaurant at all, really. Did go to one on the second night here. That cost €30, and yeah, generally I've been trying to do things on the cheap since then. You know, even going to supermarkets and just buying some basics so you can make some sort of fancy sandwich and a bit of fruit. Me not being a salad fan particularly. Yeah, it's all about trying to keep it down, and having rest days in the schedule helps as well, because that means I'm not driving the car, so I don't have to put petrol in the car. Again, that's useful. So yeah, I mean, as much as this is a fairly expensive trip, I'm on the road for at least a month, and I simply can't afford to be going too crazy with the costs. So yeah, see what I can sort out tonight for food. No idea so far, but we're going to have a mooch. If I find a nice looking cafe or something, that might suffice. I just went to a fast food place last night, so that was under €10 for dinner and a drink. But again, you can't have fast food every night any more than you can go to a fancy restaurant every night. It just ends up costing a fortune. So there you go, that's that aspect. But I'm going to continue walking in. It's a very peaceful walk because the cycle routes and the pathways generally take you away from the busy roads. So yeah, all rather pleasant. Rather lovely Volvo 244 there. Looks very tidy. And yeah, obligatory Chevy day vans. They have a lot of them around here, it seems. Sometimes you just have to be the tourist. Especially as this place does bolognese pizza. That's got to be done. What a spot. That unfortunately got a bit wet. It was a lovely meal. Bolognese pizza. Ooh. And yeah, now I'm making my way back and hoping it doesn't rain anymore. It's impressive brolly use while riding a bike. That's quite impressive. They are quite talented here. But yeah, under €20 for the meal, including the drink, so that'll do. And we'll go back to economy mode tomorrow night, perhaps. I don't know. I'm back in another Airbnb. I've had a quite luxurious 2-night stay in a fantastic old house made in 1978. So I shouldn't say old house because that's the year I was made. Yeah, tomorrow might skip across the German border briefly, and as we head further south. So actually back in a 2CV tomorrow for more travelling adventures. Cheeky little Volvo Amazon. Quite an early one maybe. Lovely two-door. You really do see more when you're out on foot. It's day 9 and time to hit the road again, and we've had a very pleasant stay in the B&B behind. 2 days there, a bit of recuperation time, feeling much brighter. I know I was looking a bit dozy in the last video. I was shattered, but it's back on the road for Elly today. Today's destination is Germany, so I thought I'd wear my Aging Wheels t-shirt. Smoking is cool with a famous Trabant. We'll see if we can see any Trabants. I've already seen the Wartburg nearby. Sorry, Barkus with the Wartburg engine. But yeah, we'll see what the day holds. Hopefully less motorway today. I think we've seen enough motorway for a bit. We'll get on the minor roads and yeah, see what we can find. Should be fun. But yeah, poor Elly's been sat here for a couple of days, so I better make sure she starts, I suppose. We shall set the choke. It's just starting to rain. It's one of those days that looks lovely and probably won't be. Oh, it's going to be one of those days, is it, Elly? I see. Right, try again. Give it a sort of day where I have to change the spark plugs before I can get going, isn't it? That looks a bit white for my liking. I think that suggests a weak mixture, if anything. Maybe I have got an air leak going on. Or maybe it's just a really old plug. I can't remember which plugs were which when we were swapping cylinder heads around. These are NGKs, but we've got some IQEMs to go in, so I'm going to fit a brand new IQEM. And the second one just looks a bit more normal, but it must be said that that one didn't require the ratchet. I just put the socket on and was able to undo that, so that may go down as something I should have properly checked when we did the cylinder head swap. But nonetheless, we'll get another brand new plug-in. Is that the same type? Yeah, it's also a B7HS. Shall we see if that's had the required level of success? That certainly sounds a bit more like it. Right, we'll get packed up and on the way. Now we can actually get going. And first of all, I've got a few things to address from the previous video. One is that, yes, I do feel much better for a bit of rest. And yeah, it was much needed. I was pretty tired. I think driving on foreign roads, having a car that we'd just, move you over a bit, put together before we yeah, departed, and yeah, generally not having a car working perfectly, all started feeling quite stressful. So yeah, I definitely needed a bit of downtime, and I very much enjoyed that yesterday, catching up with stuff on YouTube. Managed to put another video together, and yeah, just generally chilling and doing a bit of let's look at the scenery. It was very enjoyable. But yeah, nice to be back on the road again. People have asked about whether Burton 2CV were able to look at the oil leak. No, they pretty much confirmed it is the pushrod tube seals. The problem there being that yeah, it's a cylinder head off job to sort those out, so I'm just going to have to live with it. They hadn't got time to actually get a cylinder head off. They did sort out one of my track rods that needed a bit of a adjustment, and I think the lad even did it on his brake, so I'm very grateful for that. It hasn't made any difference at all. I've still got a front end clonk, which I think is probably kingpin related. See if I can find my way out of here. I think that way seems likely. Oh yes, there's the church. Definitely in the right direction. And the other thing was, I was having a bit of a moan about someone complaining about camera angles, but people seem to have jumped on that person slightly. That wasn't my intention. It was a fair criticism, and one I had in my head already, because I thought I can do better at this, and I will do better later in this trip once I actually get hold of the bits I need to accomplish that. Now to the junction, never entirely sure whose right of way it is, so yeah, just try and guess and not crash into anyone. But yeah, oh, where am I meant to be going here? Some signs would help, you know. I thought I'd have a bit of a sat-nav free day, but there are no signs at all. I'll try going that way. Yeah, that is not helpful at all. There are signs for the cyclists, but none for cars. But yeah, I do pay attention to the comments because I am always trying to be better at what I do. Things like having the external microphone and yeah, experiments with gimbals to try and give you better footage. That is kind of what I'm about. And yeah, I was just having a bit of a grumble because yeah, I mean I try my best, but trying to do everything on the fly is difficult. So thank you for all your supportive comments anyway. I'm pleased so many of you are enjoying this series. But yeah, I'd better turn you off and all right, Deventer's that way. I definitely want to go this way. Or Daventer, sorry. Body rolling. Yeah, we shall see if I can find my way to where we're going today. Thought I'd have a quick stop off at Gallery Aldering. I'm probably pronouncing that incorrectly, but there's some very fine cars here. Mercedes Pagoda, Ferrari 308 GTB, there's a DS there, you got a Maserati here of the bi-turbo era, but towards the end of that era I think. And what's that in the back? That is a big old lump of car. Bristol, I think. Yeah, wow. So I've come all this way to see a British car, but look, Volvo 480 over there as well. That's quite good. So I think we might just go and have a browse around for a bit. Gosh, that's very strange. Some modified American limo. We've got a Merc 600 next to it. That's enormous. Chevrolet Corvette in there, Austin Healey. And look at this Lagonda. Absolutely stunning. Ford Mustang, American spec Porsche 911. And over there, a dainty little Volkswagen Beetle Splitty. So this is how the place caught my eye, because I came in on that road right in front. And yeah, exquisite classic automobiles. So we've got quite a line. We've even got a Citroen C6 down there. And underground parking, Saab 900 and a Jaguar Mark 10 by the look of it hiding down there. Wow, all the fancy cars. Wow, Tatra T87. I sadly can't afford the asking price of €229,000, but these things are absolutely incredible. Look, full bare metal restoration, rear mounted V8. I mean, for the 1930s, these cars were absolutely incredible, remarkable machines. There's a motorbike for motorbikers, a little four-wheel Isetta there. There were four-wheel here, but we had them as three-wheelers in the UK because they needed to be three-wheelers for tax purposes. Got Mercedes 300 SL, they're the non-gull-wing Roadster, Citroen Traction Avant Coupe, Maserati. It's yeah, certainly a fantastic place, but look at that. Stunning engineering on these things. Look at the manifolds. Utterly remarkable cars. I love Tatras. Oh, I was way off. That's not a Bristol at all. It's an Alfa Romeo 6C Super Sport. That is a big lump of motor car. Look at the decoration on the headlamps. That is absolutely astonishing. A lovely DS next to it. Superleggera, another Alfa Romeo, 1900 this time. Absolutely exquisite. Lamborghini Jalpa. I get a bit confused with my Lamborghinis. Little Triumph. It has door handles, so this must be a TR3A, which means it should have a full width grille. And it indeed does. I haven't lost it. Dainty little MG, I think. Yeah, it must be an MG because look, you've got the octagon shaped dials and the MG key fob, bit of a clue. F40 competition car. Crikey. An early Corvette. And more upstairs. It'd be rude not to explore. Ferrari Daytonas, all well and good, but Lancia Flaminia Touring Coupe. Oh yes. Is that a big Packard? No, Cadillac. I should never guess at American cars. I will always be wrong. Yeah, not so keen on the rear lights. They don't seem quite appropriate. That sculpture. That's an absolute work of art. Piano, but I won't have a tinkle on the ivories. People are trying to work here. I don't need my noise getting in the way. It's like a very early Lamborghini. The Convertible Lamborghini built to outdo Ferrari. Wow. Lovely 6 Series BMW. Chevy Corvette. Nice pillarless Mercedes Coupe. Lovely. I hope I'm not going to get a copyright claim on the music. Peugeot 404. Very pretty Pininfarina convertible. Why couldn't we have had a really pretty Pininfarina Morris Oxford or something? De Tomaso Guara. Now that's got some unusual wipers going on, including pantograph action. Hot. Spider 190 SL. That's a smaller 4-cylinder convertible. 2,000 mile Volkswagen Beetle. That is exemplary condition. Gosh, lovely. Little Triumph Spitfire here, 1500, that's a late one. A Morgan, apparently I ignored a Morgan in a recent video, so there you go, I'm not ignoring that one. Very pretty Alfa Romeo Giulietta. I mean, a 1.3 litre sports car that looks so pretty. MGB V8, that's going to be exciting. Flat floor E-Type, 174,000 euros. And a Fura-bodied Maserati Mistral. Oh, and here's some very hot wiper action on this Ferrari Berlinetta Boxer. So not only have you got a pantograph, you also have an extra second wiper. My dream is one day to film one of these wipers in action. Porsche 911 Ferrari 348, which again brings us a little hot pantograph action. Oh, Mercedes-Benz Kurz convertible. That's quite a thing. And what is this next to it? A Gazzo. Ah, that'd be Morris Gazzanides, who was a rally driver, inventor of the speed camera. Hot pantograph action, clap hander action, another Flaminia coupe, and yeah, even more hot pantograph action. Again, double wipered, 2 blades on the Lamborghini Countach, and look at the width. That's a big motor car. Another Maserati Mistral, and oh, next to this gorgeous XK120 Alfa Romeo Montreal, which despite looking rear engined, isn't. These dainty little lashes is yeah, achingly pretty car. A bit more hot pantograph action, but oh dear, the larger blade seems to have skipped over the smaller blade. That doesn't look ideal. XK150 there, lost the grace somewhat of the earlier ones, I think, but this is a rare roadster. You don't see many roadsters, so we'll come all the way around the back to take that in. The humped rear. Very nice cars to drive, very strange driving position. The floor is very high because it's a separate chassis. Jedson Interceptor, another E-Type with the triple wipers. That's quite a gorgeous colour. Stopped me right in my tracks. And Lamborghini Diorama. They're quite rare. Again, these little eyelashes that lift up. Very nice, really, isn't it? Oh, is that a Maserati? Yes, a Maserati 3500 GT. Achingly pretty. I'm not sure what achingly pretty means, but and that's probably far more valuable, but I'll take the achingly pretty. No, we're going to have to do more because I found another flaw. We got a Mark 1 3.4 there. It's the hottest version of the Mark 1 Fiat Dino Coupe, which used the same engine as the Ferrari Dino. Oddly, a Saab 900. DeLorean. Oh, Lancia Aurelia. Oh, but I've just found easily the most hubnut car in here, and it isn't the 404. It isn't the American spec SL. It certainly isn't the Ferrari 308 GT4. No, check this out for Romeo Giulietta out. A turbo, no less. Yeah. I've always liked these cars. I remember seeing them when I was a child, and I just fell in love with that sticky out bum. I don't know why, maybe I'm a bit strange, but that is a very lovely car. Motorbike for the motorbikists. A UK motorbike as well. What a truly remarkable place. Oh, should we go and look at the Van den Pla MGR V8 there? The MGR V8, fascinating story. Rover wanted to reinvent the MG name, so they took the MGB and reworked it slightly. They fitted a 3.9 litre V8, they chucked all the wood in it, and yeah, it was the car used to relaunch the brand. But I mean, they drive just like an MGB really, they're not all that comfortable. I wonder if this is a Japanese import. Yes. The giveaway is it doesn't have fog lamps, it has air intake grills for the air conditioning system. Yeah, very rare to not have one like that. The Japanese absolutely love them. Very pretty Giulietta Sprint Veloce. That's a fantastic car. But yeah, always a 4 litre R as well. For the Rolls-Royce 4 litre engine. That looks like a very early ID. It isn't that early, it's 1964, shows what I know. Range Rover 2-door, they're getting quite valuable. Should we play Guess the Price? I'm going to say 30,000. 38,500, I was close. Is that Saab 900 convertible we saw from outside? Looks rather better condition than the one I drove. And even better, it's an automatic, so you haven't got the horrible gear change. We have got a Bristol here. I would guess at 411. I could well be wrong. Yeah, very Bristol steering wheel. And they have this access flap, so the spare wheel is hidden under there, and the battery the other side, I think. And it's a 420G, not a Mark 10. You can tell it's 420G because it's got the chrome strip ending in a side repeater. And there's also a central bar on the grille. Hello, what do we got over here? That's quite a pretty motor car. Ah, Samson. These used an electric pre-select gearbox, if I remember rightly. Yeah, so I think that little thing on the side is your gear lever. Remarkably complex French car, I believe, that's Samson. I have seen one before in the UK. It was a gearbox specialist, funnily enough. Yeah. Oh, BMW Baroque Angel. That's a fantastic looking car. Right, I think that might be us done. We might as well escape this way, but I suppose I can't really go without going headlamp wipers, can I? I bet those work as well. Oh my gosh. XK140 Roadster. The patination on this thing, look, you can see where the paint's been buffed through. The interior is hanging together. Oh, that is magnificent. I love seeing cars like this, especially if they're being driven about. That is amazing. It's another beautiful day. We're near Duisburg, if that's how you say it. Have to pay attention on roundabouts because they actually build barriers between the lanes to stop you chopping. Have a pretty church. This is dreamt. Village sign means slow down to 50 kilometers an hour. Yeah, it's nice to take it a bit easier today, and we'll take some more minor roads. There is no need to go hunting for motorway today. We're only covering about 40 miles, so yeah, there's absolutely no rush. I was quite amused. I got a message because I'm stopping in Germany tonight, and I said I'll be arriving between 4 and 6. I got a message back saying the arrival hours are 4 till 7 p.m. strict. Oh, hello, what's going on here? I thought that was quite German. I think we might need to go and have a look at those. Yeah, another classic car dealer. We've got a Ford F100 there, a giant cow. I'm not sure why. Mercedes W124. I was looking for grill vents, wondering if it was the hot one. A very tasty W123. That is quite the beauty, is it not? Lovely. Ford Ranchero, is that? Boss 351 on it, some tatty old Dodge, and then a gorgeous little Fiat 500 parked here on the end. Oh, that is a sweet little thing. So there you go, that's just what you find just wandering about. Venema classic cars, antiques, and a brocante. Now I know brocante from the French tends to be a bit of a tap market, you know, like antiques and all sorts of just random oddness. And oh dear, I don't think that should be left outside, should it? It's going to rack and ruin. Old horse-drawn carriage. Oh, hello. W126 for sale. A slightly flat tyre. A mere 280. That's the smallest engine. And oh, hello. Earlier S-Class behind it. Oh, I've entirely forgotten what the code is for those. That's quite depressing. And a nice little Transit with tailgate. Well, that was worth stopping, I think. But I'm not going to do a buy. I'm not interested in a 2.8. That's not enough engine for me. So I'm going to clamber back into my 652 2CV. What? Maybe we should go and take a closer look, because yeah, if that's just what they've got out the front, what are they hiding around the back? Oh, I am not left disappointed. I think that's a Volvo 164 with the indicators perched right on the front bumper. Yep, 164. So it's the 6-cylinder engine. And Elly has a French friend in this little Renault 4 Fourgenet. 3,900 euros. That is very tasty. Also a dash change, gear change on these, and it's got the giraffe hatch. This little hatch that folds up at the back so you can put long loads in. Oh, that's rather jolly. I must admit, they've coned it off because it's so desirable. And there's an American thing. I know not what that is. Let's find out. Hearst equipped. I think that means it has one of those funny stick shifts. And a gorgeous little Jeep over here as well. That's quite sweet. The indicators look very European. Oh yeah, I like that. Do you like that? Fine, don't say anything. You want to put your bappage away, dear. Wow. Really is incredible where British phone boxes turn up. That one needs a little TLC, I would suggest. They got some stuff going on in the workshop as well. Look at the size of that Cadillac. Blimey. So yeah, big slice of Americana there. But again, I think it is time to move on. Nice Corvette there, nice Daihatsu Charade. In fact, they have the saloon versions here. Right, let's continue. Well, I saw a sign for a castle, so I thought I'd just come and have a bit of an explore. It's a very nice town. Two CVs are very narrow. Oh wow. No entry that way, no entry that way, so we must have to go this way, I think. That must be the castle to my right. Amazing brick built construction. I'll park up and we'll take a look. There we go. That's quite an impressive structure. We'll take a look around. I'm going to have to put the roof on. It's just started raining irritatingly. But look, it's got a moat with ducks and everything. And yeah, this looks a nice little town. I'll explore, see if I can find a nice beverage. I really do like a carillon. Competition. All of the bells. That's quite remarkable. I'd love to tell you where I am, but I completely missed the village name. Ah, there we go. Sierenberg, or something like that. There we go. And we're getting very close to the border with Germany, I think. I think that river is the Rhine, and I think that is the border. Those of you concerned about my fruit intake, worry not. Nice cheap lunch. In fact, the €3.75 I paid for one drink in a restaurant was enough to get me a nice big pot of straws and a croissant, which was very delicious. 75 cents, very well spent, I think. I do know that the village has a big gun at the entrance, and I did wonder if that was just a kindly reminder to Germany just over the border to behave itself. So yeah, you've been warned. I think this is it. There was a sign behind me to say that welcome to the Netherlands. So by all rights, oh yes, there's an Ausfahrt down on the motorway. So yeah, welcome to Germany or Deutschland. Doesn't feel ever so different really, other than that the number plates have changed colour. Oh, look at that 124 Merc. How perfectly German. Ah, I was told the petrol is much cheaper here. Shame that Elly still has over half a tank. There we go. Our first bit of footage in Deutschland. I often do find it hard to find nice parts of Germany. Maybe I've just been unlucky, but we did want to get stranded in the town of Neumünster after our 2CV, no, it was an 8 van, suffered a smashed windscreen, and that was, yeah, very industrial, not ever so exciting. Oh, that's my mobile just updating with the fact we are now in a different country, so confirmation. Given someone's just parked horrible Vauxhall Mocha in front of me. I think I'm going to move. I don't think I want to kill time here at all. Oh, wind's getting up. I can hear thunder in the distance. I dare say we're going to get a soaking. I wonder how vulnerable that is in a thunderstorm. Oh, we should briefly acknowledge the mileage. We're getting on for 700 miles now. Still about 15 miles short of that, I think. But yeah, ticking along. We've had a gentle few days, really. It's nice to be able to have such a leisurely break and just take our time and explore the skies. Well, this certainly looks okay, and look how far away my feet are from the end of the bed. It's enormous. And I've even got a little heart. Oh, grand. Right, where were we this morning? We were in Zutphen up here, and then we drove down to Bremen, where we found the classic cars, and then sort of somehow, I can't even remember how. Oh yeah, we came down to here. That's where the castle was. And then we came along to here. So we are just over the German border. We are very close to being back in the Netherlands again. And then if I drag the map up a bit, we should see somewhere down here. No, I can't find my way around. It's quite hard to do. But somewhere in the Netherlands is Eindhoven, and we will go there. Is Eindhoven up that way? So it's a bit of a diversion, but I'm stopping with a friend who lives further south than Eindhoven. Yeah, there's Amsterdam, so Eindhoven must be down here somewhere. Ah, there we go. There's Eindhoven. So yeah, Eindhoven down in that bottom corner, and might go to Maastricht. Well, there's much I want to see, and then we're into Belgium, and oh, didn't mean to click that. And then eventually we will, yeah, start heading to France. It's possibly the oddest thing I've ever seen. It's a bike where everyone can pedal, but yeah, in strange angles. It's most peculiar. And even more bizarrely, this is the car park of the restaurant I've just been to. Oh, look at that, it's got a good lock there. Yeah, you definitely only want one person steering. And just in case that isn't weird enough, it is also a farmyard. There is a tractor in that shed. Lots of swifts and swallows and things swanning about in there. It's all quite lovely. Sadly, I did leave the microphone behind, which is why you can't hear me in quite such good glory. But yeah, it just occurs to me that how lucky I am. You talk about language barrier. So I'm going to start Elly up and start manoeuvring while I talk. Because, you know, this is a restaurant run by an Italian family in Germany, but they speak English. I am so spoilt by the fact that wherever I go in Europe, people speak English. And it makes me feel quite guilty, to be honest, for the fact that I rely on that. You know, I've got about 4 or 5 words of German. I mean, that's just not good enough, really. And yeah, precious little Italian. Although, amusingly, we did end up speaking a bit of Italian when I first got to the restaurant, because yeah, I didn't know how to say one person, and he came back at me in Italian, and I understood that because it's pretty close to Spanish. So there we go. But yeah, head back to the B&B, and we'll call that a night. We still haven't quite got to 800 miles. I did notice a tail light bulb was out earlier, which reminded me that I completely forgot to pack any tail light bulbs. I might have to address that. There is actually a legal requirement in many EU states, so I apologise to said EU states for my forgetfulness. But yeah, we shall go back. This seems quite nice. It's all a bit flat, but this countryside is quite nice. Clearly worked very hard as a landscape, and good times. Right, on we go. Yeah, this is the sort of area I find myself in tonight, and yeah, gorgeous little characterful brick buildings, and that's my Airbnb just beyond, which is nice. Elly has been leaking oil all over the poor man's driveway. Sorry, Mr. Man.